An eventual lack of communication, mismanagement of orders, and missing payments despite requesting them. Finally getting the merch they paid for so many months ago. On October 6th, our story was with this tweet by Fantasy, and it says, "Well, I hate to be that person that makes call-outs, but my PayPal protection expired, and I want a refund. I pre-ordered a Ray Bubbles hoodie from Our Culture in November of 2023, only to receive a label print notification in July of 2024, with no update past that point. It has been well over a year since my label was printed, and the package was never dropped off at the post office. I have emailed them over 10 times in the past 2 years asking for updates. I have reasonable suspicion that the label was printed so that it was marked as fulfilled in the backend of their site to avoid e-seller penalties. The few responses I did get, I was told my package never shipped because they never received the merchandise from the factory. But why would you print a shipping label, effectively starting the shipping process for more to claim to not have yet? Not only this, but I know that claim to be untrue because I have been to their booth at conventions and seen the merchandise being sold there. People in Ray's Discord have purchased the exact hoodie in person. An employee has actively tried to sell me the sweatshirt at one con, and I informed them I actually pre-ordered it and I'm still waiting, and still the issue went unresolved. I can't even send emails anymore because their inbox is full. I have seen countless other complaints similar to mine. People noticing this brand prioritizing their in-person sales over their pre-orders. This is honestly just so frustrating. I tried to request my refund privately and professionally, but I exhausted all my avenues for that. So now I have to make a post publicly that I really would have loved to avoid. Please refund my order and the order number. I don't want it anymore. And screenshots that the delivery is incomplete and no tracking available, that the label has been printed, and people getting the merch in person, and that it was bought. And let me just add, it does not escape me that their pre-order window, 6 months, is the exact same length as PayPal purchase protection, 180 days. If you give them the benefit of the doubt, you're effectively throwing away any ability to file a case privately. And I'll be honest, I don't buy stuff on pre-order. I don't know how this usually works, but man, it must feel so bad, like having pre-ordered something and knowing people at cons can get it faster than you because your product was just never delivered. That must feel so shitty. And retweeting that, Milky VT posts my experience with Ara culture and attaches a Google Doc. And it reads, "My experience with Ara culture, a statement from Milky. Introduction. This document exists to clearly and respectfully share my experience as a creator, partnered with Ara Culture LLC, with the goal of bringing transparency, accountability, and resolution to issues that have impacted both creators and the community. This is not an attempt to start hostility. I have always admired and appreciated the people at Ara Culture as individuals. They recognize the difficulties of running a small, independent brand. However, the way the company handled communication, payouts, and merchandise distribution has left both creators and fans without the products or trust they deserve. Many community members have waited months for their orders. Some have never received them, and creators have gone unpaid despite contractually binding agreements. My goal is simply to ask that these orders be fulfilled, and that an apology be extended to those who supported us in good faith. The screenshots are at a link for accessibility. Section 1. Missing sales and unaccounted orders. The merchandise collection for Milky launched on June 30, 2024 at 2 p.m. PST, and the proof of release. Fans immediately began purchasing items, as shown receipts and fan posts confirming orders placed as early as June 30, 2024. Redacted areas are usernames hidden for privacy. Screenshot 2. Early purchase dates. However, the agriculture creator dashboard, the platform meant to show real-time sales and commission reports, does not display any data before October 2024. The first visible order appeared only after October 11, meaning that all orders placed between June and October are unaccounted for. This gap includes numerous fund purchases, including one confirmed instance where a supporter showed me the merchandise in person at TwitchCon 2024. Further proof that orders and payments were happening months before any official records appeared. Okay, so my line of thought is, I use Trello for commissions, and a lot of other people who do commissions use Trello. This seems to do the same thing. There's like keeping track of stuff. Shouldn't you be prepared and like have it prepared to like keep track of stuff before you start selling stuff? That seemed a little counterintuitive and a little stupid, but I might be wrong. I don't really know how merchandise selling works. I never did merchandise, or I'm not big enough to have merchandise made of me. Section 2. Breach of contract and manipulative communication. Under Section 3 of the signed contract between myself and our culture, the company agreed to pay 25% of online transactions and convention sales related to the sale of merchandise that includes the likeness of said creator. Section 4 further states that payments will be made through the Creator Hub when requested, and Section 6 specifies that all orders made within the contract period will be fulfilled and that is will still be paid, and showing proof of said things and things about the contract. Despite these clauses, no full payments were made. Convention sales were unreported and orders remain unfulfilled. When concerns about payouts were raised, our culture's message often deflected responsibility by invoking personal struggles such as mental health issues or vague logistical excuses. While empathy for personal hardship is important, this communication style places creators in an emotionally manipulative position, where expressing concern felt like causing harm. Creators were made to feel guilty for asking about money that they were contractually owed. Milky says, also just seeking further clarification. As far as payouts go, do you have an estimated time frame for processing those? How do you plan to handle adding commissions to people's dashboard for merchandise or URL? I was also wondering for things that were run through a promotion. Let's say the posters say it was buy two get one free. Do you not plan to provide a commission to the creator for those sales? I just want to make sure I'm on the same page as you to ease concerns. And our culture says, right now my main priority is getting our outstanding orders fulfilled. With raising costs from tariffs and inflation, that has become exponentially more expensive. And I've been putting all available funds towards making sure everything gets shipped out properly. Because of this, I need to pause and reevaluate the payout structure on the dashboard before I can move forward. The last thing I would want to is to risk running out of money and not being able to fulfill orders, which would hurt both you and the customers. Since I haven't reopened the shop in a while, there hasn't been new revenue coming in to help balance things out. Hopefully I explained that correctly. As for events, I won't be attending any further IRL events this year, and I'm not planning on doing any more VTuber related drops once I fulfill what I'm currently obligated to. Part of this is because I don't want to risk my health again or upset VTubers I want to help, due to my personal circumstances I've been facing. I can in good faith continue when I know I'm currently not in the best place for you guys, if you know what I mean. The doc continues. At various times, our culture claimed all sales are tracked automatically through Shopify and will show on the creator dashboard. However, as shown the evidence, the dashboard did not exist until October 2024. Additionally, no conventional sales were tracked in the dashboard. This contradiction demonstrates a pattern of inconsistent information, further damaging transparency and trust. Continuing, in the screenshot, Milky says, I guess I'm confused because this doesn't answer the question for me. The payout structure is based on contracts that have been signed by both parties, and any funds that were allocated towards commission come from products that have already sold, so you should already have the funds set aside from it. I just don't understand how the funds would have had to be managed for this to become such a glaring issue, and I would like further clarification clarification. Will people that requested refunds be able to receive them? Will the people that can't have their order fulfilled be receiving refunds? And what about the orders that were waiting for more than a year pre-tariff? For events, while I'm sympathetic towards the things you're going through, that doesn't account for what has already occurred. You've sold merchandise accounts, and those weren't accounted for or noted in our dashboards. Do you have any way of knowing what you've sold and paying the creator involved their own shares? And our culture says, I haven't attended many comps this year, only AX and Offkai, both of which I had little to no stock of VTuber merch besides mythic art form merch. I guess the better way to phrase it is I need to recalculate what was made because I have to pay more now to ship out items because of tariffs. I always process refunds to those who request them as long as they follow the policy rules. I never hold anything. Anything sold at conventions is tracked to Shopify via or POS system, which would be reflected on the dashboard. Section 3. Dashboard manipulation and lack of transparency. The creator dashboard was introduced months after the merge launch, with no retroactive data entered. This means creators had no way to confirm sales or earnings for over 3 months. Originally, creators could supposedly request payouts by just DMing other culture and asking for a payout. It was communicated to the creators through a Discord channel labeled payout requests. This channel was later deleted without notice, removing a critical line of communication and the records of payout requests. And proof? Even as of 2025, many community members, including myself, have yet to receive their items. Culture repeatedly claimed our orders were shipped, but multiple fans reported non-delivery. I have compiled a list of all known orders that haven't been fulfilled within my community, but I won't be including that for their privacy. Their message says, Hello Cutie, just wanted to update you on a few things. Most of the orders have been shipped. There was a delay with one of our suppliers, and the rest of the items did get delivered to us yesterday, and they will be shipped soon. I still need to ship your apparel, correct? We also have not forgotten about your plushie. If you're okay with it, we want to catch up on pending orders as a lot of new merch arrived and we are moving to a new warehouse, so would it be fine to start that next year? Also, an updated contract for creator merch collabs has been emailed to you through DocuSign. Please take a look at it and sign it. Section 4. Reach out anytime promise versus real silence. Broken promises of support. Culture has often told both creators and customers that they can reach out anytime for updates about orders or delivery timelines. Public statements and direct messages from the company frequently encourage people to DM or email for help, implying that communication is open and responsive. For instance, on X, formerly Twitter, the brand states, DMs are always open in the meantime. Please feel free to message me about any issues with your orders. However, this promise does not hold true in practice. Multiple community members have documented reaching out several times without ever receiving a reply. One fan message illustrates this clearly. I've placed emails for help regarding these orders multiple times, starting from May of this year, May 30, June 14th, June 29th, and July 29th, with zero response. They also listed several unfulfilled purchases, a hoodie, posters, shirts, and keychains, ordered between July 1st and July 12th, 2024. This demonstrates a significant gap between our culture's public reassurance that support is available and the lived experience of customers attempting to get help. And that also reminds me, isn't that pretty similar to what? That's pretty similar to what Kentazi was facing, wasn't it? Public complaints and ongoing communication failures. Reports of unanswered messages and undelivered product extend beyond my own experiences across social platforms. Users have shared similar frustrations about the company's lack of replies and delayed or missing orders. Other creators have experienced the same thing that I have with their communities and with our culture. So many fans have expressed that their DMs and emails went unread or unanswered for months, even after public promises that the team was working through all pending orders. While this public acknowledgments of delays or catching up attempts. Too often, to soften the situation, they fail to address the complete lack of communication with paying customers and partner creators. Silence is a pattern. What emerges is a repeating cycle. Agriculture publicly assures customers that they can contact them at any time. Customers and creators send multiple messages seeking updates. Those messages go unanswered for weeks/months/years. Agriculture issues vague public posts about working through delays without responding to individuals. This cycle gives the appearance of accessibility while allowing the company to avoid accountability. For many supporters, it creates frustration, confusion, and a growing sense of being ignored, especially among those who waited months or even years for merchandise they paid for in good faith. Section 5. Reflection and call for accountability. This entire situation has been deeply disheartening for me, for my fellow creators, and most importantly, for the fans who trusted Araculture with their hard-earned money. I do not wish harm on Araculture or its team. I believe they set out with genuine intentions and simply took on far more than they could manage. But good intentions do not excuse ongoing negligence, miscommunication, or financial mismanagement. At the end of the day, our communities are owed their products. They supported us in good faith, believing in our collaborations and in our culture's promise to deliver. What I'm asking for is simple. Ship out pending orders owed to fans. Provide payouts for our creators. Take accountability and issue a public apology to the customers and communities affected. Not to me personally, but to those who saved, supported, and believed. These steps would go a long way towards repairing trust and allowing everyone to move forward with dignity and respect. Closing statement. I want to emphasize that this document is not about hatred or drama. It's about accountability and closure. I still appreciate the individuals behind our culture. I hope they find a path forward that honors the trust so many creators once placed in them. But until the communities who paid and waited are acknowledged and made whole, the story cannot be left unspoken. It truly breaks my heart to still receive messages from community members waiting so eagerly for their merch, but hearing them lose hope for it. Thank you to everyone who took the time to read this, reach out, or share their own experiences. Your patience and kindness mean everything, Milky. So it's already 2 statements of them not shipping stuff, but there's more. Captain Hannah posted a doc saying, working with our culture, and this doc is 11 pages. Counting with this one, there's 3 docs to go through yet. Since the door is open, I'll be speaking on my personal experience with the situation, aligning my situation with other VTubers involved. This feels like the only course of action for me since I have reached out many times within a large time frame with little success. First of all, I would like to apologize to all my viewers who graciously purchased merchandise to support me. I had no idea it would end up with an outcome like this. I'm going to try to be as true as possible so no one is left in the dark. Even though I was and frankly still am in the dark, but I will provide all I can on my end to the absolute best of my ability. About a year and a half ago, I released merch with Horticulture. Our planning and evaluation of the merch line began in February 2024. Around May 2024, we announced the merch drop, and I went live with the announcements, and seemingly everything went well. However, over the course of that time, I had been receiving many comments on multiple platforms about the orders not arriving or coming up missing. As this was brought to my knowledge, I would reach out to them multiple times and actively ask on my viewers' behalf about the orders and the comments that I was seeing. I would be sued time and time again about the orders getting fulfilled, but it seemed to me that the amount of comments I would get from viewers outweighed the outcome. I believe this was just an attempt to pacify me, and they're checking on the orders and checking on the orders again and again. Dating back to the very first pre-order launch, I would be pinging the ARA Discord server and eventually pinging DMs about the orders people were not receiving. I believe that these screenshots are not the only times I have reached out, not including my mods reaching out personally and my viewers reaching out to my mods for answers as well. My mods would receive multiple DMs from viewers asking for help, and I was the one to pass along the information to ARA when the client's emails/DMs were not responded to. The responsibility fell upon my moderators and I, which did not agree it was our job to do so. I cannot speak for others, but doing so resulted in incredibly anxiety and strain upon myself each time it was brought to my attention. I personally did not have answers for anyone, since I do not work for ADA and have no hand in any business activity. After a decent amount of orders that were reported to them, my moderators generously put together a spreadsheet for this company and input my community members missing and unfulfilled orders, and showing them reaching out again, and showing understanding the dog and getting ghosted. As far as I can personally see, I believe it has been updated / being updated as time goes on. And according to my mods, this number has grown from a few to 300 plus, like it is now. I have also attached the screenshots of when I was asking many times about the orders, since I had mentioned I was getting comments on my tweets and streams of viewers not getting their merch at all. I feel like the viewers were inclined to message my mods and make comments about their missing orders, since they were asked to DM our culture and email them. However, that was to no avail, so they most likely felt inclined to reach directly out to me or a mod, which is perfectly understandable. However, I did not have information to give them, unfortunately, which resulted in me feeling incredibly guilty and confused, since I was not getting answers when I personally asked many times. At this point, I had sent them the document and asked for updates on those orders. To my knowledge of the document of orders, out of the 300 lines of orders, there are 7 that are green. On other occasions, I would receive replies such as these, whereas I wasn't quite sure how to respond, and frankly made me a bit uncomfortable. In a conversation regarding business, I feel like I was caught a bit off guard, since I unfortunately did not have any resolutions for them. Also, I believe that after the first initial payment of the pre-order merch, which was July 2024, I have not received any payments after. However, that fell upon me to ask manually to get paid. In the partner Discord, it states we should ask Aduna for or pay out manually, which I find very odd. I am unsure if other business run a similar way or if it was just their business alone, but I thought I would include this. Payment of occurred royalties shall be made through the Creator Hub when requested. I would like to be paid the remaining balance out, even if the amount is marginal. But at large, I just wish for my viewers' orders should be fulfilled or refunded. I would like to add that this document should come to no surprise to the parties involved, as I stated my hands were tied in the situation while saying that I personally had positive experience with them as people, especially having such great times at meets and greets at cons, but the business actions were not reflected positively. I've enjoyed every second of the meet and greets that were provided by them, and I love meeting everyone. I will never take that for granted. As of today, October 7, 2025, I received an update on the orders last night. I personally would love to see all the orders fulfilled. However, I only believe that I received this message due to the pressure that was put on them publicly, and I will simply believe it when I see it. I still in my heart believe that this information should still be known, and I would like to add this very recent part anyways. However, I believe it's too little too late at this point in time to be receiving a message like this. The takeaway. At the end of the day, please know I'm not trying to cancel anyone whatsoever. I do not wish to burn anyone to the ground at all. I understand that the owner has been going through rough times mentally. I feel deeply for him, and I wish him nothing but the best with his family and personal issues, since we know what that's like. However, I just want accountability and concrete proof the orders are fulfilled accordingly, or given refunds effectively, immediately. I think it's safe to say that it is my official announcement. I will no longer be affiliated with this brand. My community's trust and money is not something to be toyed with. My viewers deserve their merchandise, or if that cannot be supplied, they should get a refund with no excuses. Not just Google documents of orders, not just DMs, money in hand or merch in hand, that's it. And I have been patient and understanding enough, but at this point, 1.5 years is more than enough time. My conclusion. It makes me absolutely ill and riddled with anxiety as I type this, but I fear that my hand is forced due to so many orders coming up missing, and also receiving the news through comments and chat messages from viewers, as I am just as in the dark as everyone else, which breaks my heart to see. I was effectively hands off since I had trusted that things would go smoothly, and that's definitely on me, and I apologize once more. To my viewers, once again I feel a sense of ownership as my name and face is on this merch, and I sincerely apologize to who placed an order to support me. I am so sorry if you also feel like I waited too long to step up to the bat for you. Please know that was not my intention. I had hoped that being patient would provide success. However, that was not the case, and I apologize for the depth inside of me, especially with your hard-earned money, which probably feels wasted. I understand if there's trust broken. From the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry. What needs to be done? I need my viewer's order to be fully refunded or fulfilled indefinitely. My merch and link to be removed once the site's back up. Hey, if you've made this far into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you for your time. Now let's get back into the video. And Ray Stingray also posted something and says, my merch experience with art culture, and links a doc. My experience and why I'm finally speaking up. After talking with other art culture partners and hearing their stories, I finally feel ready to share my experience with art culture. This has been something I've kept to myself for a long time. Not because I wanted to stir up drama, but because I felt hurt, guilty, and honestly just exhausted. My collaboration with art culture began back in November of 2023, and what started as exciting opportunity quickly turned into years of frustration, confusion, and silence. And linked out the screenshots. How it all started. It was the first VTuber collaboration art culture ever did. They reached out saying they wanted to expand from anime merch into the VTuber community, with their mascot Aruna River leading the way. I was hesitant, since they hadn't worked with VTubers before, but their enthusiasm won me over. At first, everything seemed fine. The design process went smoothly, until I realized they were heavily referencing a gargoyle artwork for my merch pose. I voiced my discomfort, because I didn't want to be accused of copying, but I didn't know how to speak up strongly at the time. I went ahead with it, trusting that it would be handled professionally, and they're asking for the pose to be different. It was indeed based on a gargoyle artwork. The launch and growing problems. When my merch launched, I was so proud, but soon after, messages started rolling in from fans saying their orders hadn't arrived. What I thought were small delays became months, and then years of waiting. Some community members still haven't received their items to this day. Many fans said they mailed our culture repeatedly without response. Others were told refunds would be processed, but they never came through. I tried to help by personally reaching out to our culture on behalf of my community, and they reached out. Some fans only received their merch after 15 months, and even then was because they opened support tickets through Aruna River's Discord server instead of official customer service. Another supporter shared that they finally got their shirt after 15 months of waiting. Better late than never, they said. Communication breakdown. I tried to stay patient and professional, but most of my messages went ignored. I've included several examples showing me reaching out with fans' orders numbers and receiving short or no responses. Even after being told, I'll make sure she gets this, nothing happened. The pattern repeated again and again. Polite promises, no follow-through. Fans and even friends had to follow up on my behalf, trying to reach anyone from our culture. Selling my merch without payment. What hurt the most was finding out my merch was being sold at conventions long after I stopped being paid. My last payment from our culture was on May 20, 2024, but fans continued to see my hoodies and shirts at con booths months later. Meanwhile, my supporters, the same people who pre-ordered their merch almost 2 years ago, were still waiting on deliveries. I never received notice of these sales or any payments for them. I also wasn't given access to a sales dashboard like other collaborators, leaving me completely in the dark. The emotional toll. I won't lie, this whole situation took a toll on me. For a long time, I felt like it was my fault. I thought maybe I wasn't big enough creator. Maybe I didn't sell enough for them to care. Every message from a fan asking where their order was made me feel sick. Didn't know what to say except I'm so sorry. But after talking with other creators, I realized it wasn't just me. Our culture has done this to multiple people. Ignoring DMs, underpaying, ghosting, and continuing to sell merch while orders remain unfulfilled. Realizing that made me angry. What I want. At this point, all I want is accountability. I want our culture to 1. Fulfill or refund every outstanding order from my merch drop. 2. Pay out everything owned for sales made after May 20th, 2024. 3. Apologize to fans who waited months or years without updates. My community didn't deserve this. They believed in me and supported me. The least I deserve is honesty and respect. Closing thoughts. I'm not sharing this to attack anyone. I'm sharing this because my fans deserve the truth, and because other creators should be aware of what can happen. This has been one of the hardest lessons I've learned, but I hope speaking up helps others avoid the same heartbreak. And there's one more Google Doc. It doesn't end. It seems that our culture really did some people dirty. And August Anomaly says, my experience with our culture. And the doc is the biggest so far, 17 pages. I will start by saying that I hold no ill towards the art culture staff as people. Nor do I want any lives ruined by the information I'm sharing here. I do, however, want art culture as a business to be held accountable for their disorganization, lack of communication, and disrespect to both VTuber merch partners and paying customers. Summary: I began discussions with art culture regarding a merch drop in August of 2024. The merch drop went public in mid-December 2024 with no issues. However, as of today, October 7, 2025, roughly 70% of the orders that include my products appearing on my affiliate portal have not made it to the purchaser. The most recent order made was on January 7, 2025. For most of these missing orders, the final update was made in mid-April 2025, when the shipping label was printed. Despite several attempts to contact our culture over the last 7 months regarding order updates and my payment, the majority of my community orders remain in limbo. They have not seen a single cent of my payout. I have also sent agriculture extremely cut and dry requests to have orders fulfilled or funded, and even collected information from my community regarding their orders to help agriculture make sense of this mess. As of now, these messages have been ignored for nearly a month. However, it was only after Kentazi made a public statement on October 5, 2025, and regarding her missing order from Ray Bubbles 2023 merch release that I received a reply from agriculture the very next day. But for me, this is too little, too late. I am no longer still interested in quietly resolving the long-standing issues I have had with agriculture as a merch partner. Too many people have been affected by these problems, and we need accountability and more transparency. I am making this statement publicly because 1. I was ignored privately until their business issues were brought up publicly by Kentazi. I care about my community's damn money. I am far from the only merch partner who has been treated this way. My experiences are not a one-off. They are a pattern. I have spoken to many agriculture merch partners in depth, and we've all had similar issues. It's been going as far back as 2023. 1. Communication. Below is a record of my communication that I have had with our culture staff since the planning stages of my merch drop. If you are unable to read screenshots here, try this. Pre-merch drop. During the setup of my merch drop, I paid for and provided all art that would be used. I went pretty smoothly and we launched everything on time. At this phase, I was happy with the amount and speed of communication, which was mostly led by Aruna. Post-merch drop. Following the pre-order period, I knew that it would take time to receive the merch items from the manufacturer and ship them out. So I sat back for a while and waited for updates. However, it was in March that I began to feel concerned about a possible breakdown in communication. Over the next 5 months, I sent periodic pings to request information regarding order fulfillment and to receive my payment in return. I would sometimes get a promise to have X thing done that day, which did not happen, or I'd just be completely ignored. By early August, my PayPal email was requested, though I had provided it long before. I anticipated receiving payment soon after this, but heard nothing. By September, I was incredibly antsy, having heard many stories from my community members about their orders that were progressing, being sent to the wrong addresses, receiving other people's orders, and so on. I sent 2 very clear messages requesting order fulfillment or refunds to be issued. I even went out of my way to collect information regarding missing orders from my community. Still, I did not get a response, until the day after Katenzi made a public post about her missing order, which garnered a fair bit of attention. I wanted this fixed as soon as possible, so I offered to have my mods collect order information from my community for other cultures so that things could be sent out or refunded. And community experiences. As you saw above, the merch was presented at their warehouse in mid-April, and I was told that after the kitchens and acrylic standees were on hand, all my orders would be complete. However, the actual state of my orders do not reflect this at all. It seems a majority of the shipping labels were printed around mid-April, but many of the orders were never moved past that point. For those that did, most stayed at a different stage in the fulfillment process. Below, we shared information that I and my mods collected directly from community members, order numbers, and any other personal info that was shared has been redacted. Note that these orders which are missing, so even if my chatters got a delivered notice, the merch was not received for various reasons. And showing what happened to people. One of my community members even reached out directly via Twitter DM and was ignored. It feels horrible to see so many of my community members struggling to get what they paid for months and months ago. They did everything right, double checking their addresses, sending support tickets, waiting a reasonable amount of time. It makes me so sad to see so many people that just wanted to support me and get some cool items treated like this. If these orders do eventually get fulfilled or refunded, my and my community's trust in our culture is shot. Support tickets aren't answered. Twitter DMs aren't answered. My personal communications with our culture are hardly answered as well. I understand that the other culture manager has had very difficult live events occur this year and has shared struggles with his mental health recently that have made fulfilling merch orders difficult. Person to person, I empathize with him and I do hope he finds peace. That is partly why I sat on my hands for so long waiting for things to resolve. However, the issues I'm describing have affected not only me, but my community members and fellow merch partners since as early as 2023, and seeing other, more recent merch drops being given public updates on Twitter in the past few months make me feel like I and my community have fallen through the cracks completely. 3. Other Arakult merch partners. As I said before, I am far from the only creator affected by these issues at Araculture, which is one of the reasons I'm speaking about this publicly. Many of you have probably already seen Captain Hannah's statement regarding similar issues with her merch partnership, and has also shared this publicly. Of the 9 Araculture merch partners I reached out to, including Hannah and Milky, to inquire about their merch releases. 8 confirmed that they were having similar long-standing issues that have not been fixed, including lack of payment and missing orders. We have agreed that we will each follow our own comfort levels regarding public statements, and more statements may come out in time. As of now, I will not speak on the other VTubers' behalf, as I worry it will make things confusing. However, we have all had both shared problems and unique problems, differential treatment, different information provided to us, and more. I thought for a long time that I was alone in having these issues and was afraid to make a big stink about it. However, once I spoke with other partners, we realized that we shared experiences that revealed a common thread: an eventual lack of communication, mismanagement of orders, and missing payments despite requesting them. Final word. This is my official notice that I will no longer work with Araculture as a merch partner, affiliate, or meet and greet guests. I cannot in good faith recommend that my community purchase my merchandise items from them, as so many have had issues receiving their orders. I will add, I do not think, at least in my experience, that these issues arose out of malice. I personally believe they are due to massive organization issues and negligence. I wish the best for the people behind our culture, and I really hope that everything can be resolved reasonably. However, you are running a business. Customers' money must be respected. There is no universe in which it's okay for my mods to have to do your job in collecting and organizing information so that you can fulfill purchases made on your own website. To my community, I know I've said this before to you guys, but I am so sorry for these problems. I am so sad and embarrassed that my first merch release was such a colossal failure. You guys deserve everything, and I'm so grateful for your support every single day. I will make sure that everything regarding our culture orders are fixed, and I will never allow this to happen again with any future merch releases elsewhere. To our culture, I am truly beyond disappointed at how this went. I chose to work with you guys because I trusted in your good reputation, and I always had such an amazing time doing meet and greets with you. I was so happy to be included in your activities and was so excited to have my first merch release with you guys. To say I'm devastated is an understatement. As of now, this is what I need from you. All outstanding August anomaly orders to either be correctly fulfilled or refunded. My community's orders info that my mods put together for you is in our Discord chat. My merchandise to be removed from the store website, my affiliate link to be dissolved, and accurate payment. These things need to be completed by December 7th, 2025. And Liz Avalanche said, if you're wondering what happened to the VTuber Summer Block Party merch, I've had the same issues. No response on how much was sold or paid out for my portion of it. My own personal purchase had a label made but nothing shipped, and the culture has not responded to my inquiries. I was really excited to work with them, but have ended up heartbroken for myself and my community. It's so hard as a small indie VTuber to get merch made, so to have things like this happen is devastating. Thank you for everyone that responded and retweeted this. Ada Culture has reached out to me and shown me a screenshot of them refunding concert merch. It may take time to process, but I'm happy my community can at least get their money back. And Ada Culture has not responded yet, and I don't think any response they can give will be really satisfactory for the people who have struggled this much with their mismanagement and unprofessionalism. Honestly, I really hope those affected can get a resolution, either their refunds or finally getting the merch they paid for so many months ago. For the VTubers affected, I don't know what I can say. I hope you're eventually able to get merch done with someone who won't do this type of thing, someone who is actually trustworthy. But I guess that's it. What's your opinion? Don't forget to leave a comment. Bye bye!